This is Euphoric Legworks Biased and Unbiased with your host, Garrett Merriman.
Hey everyone, welcome to the first official episode of Biased Unbiased. Due to my lack of content last week, I'm going to talk about a couple topics that span the period of the last 2 weeks. Those topics are going to include the NBA kickoff week, the Derrick Rose rape allegations and what happened in court and how it was settled. Then we're going to talk about Big 12 expansion, why it's dead. We're going to talk about a great NFL player retiring in the midst of his prime with Arian Foster and how the NFL is making players retire more and more early. And then I'm going to give you just a couple last-minute fantasy football updates and advice on who to start and who to sit. So without further ado, let's get started with our first episode.
To get started with the NBA Week in Review, now it's time to give you my winners and losers of the week. My first winner is Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Russell Westbrook averaged 41 points per game, 12.5 rebounds, and 9.5 assists. He also had the first 51-point triple-double in the league since 1975. The Thunder is also 2-0 in the post-KD era. Russell Westbrook is lighting up the league already, just like everybody had assumed he would be. Let's see if he can maintain that level of play throughout the season. My first loser is the Golden State Warriors. Yes, they won Friday, but they were embarrassed by San Antonio to open the season. Golden State is still going to win a ton of games because nobody can guard their three-point shooters, but the expectations are way too high. As of right now, to me, it looks like there's no defense being played in Golden State. Kevin Durant is a great acquisition, but he is not an elite defender. Once Golden State figures it out defensively, yes, they're going to win a ton of games and still probably win the NBA championship. But for now, they're not impressing me. My next winner of the week is Anthony Davis of the New Orleans Pelicans. He's averaging 47.5 points per game, 16 boards, and 4 assists, including a 50-point opening night. He is just beasting right now. He's only 23, but he's an already established superstar, and he's playing at such an MVP level. If he maintained this level of play throughout the year, he should be considered for MVP honors, but he won't. Why? Because New Orleans is a sinking ship. They need to do something and get this man some help. Yes, they tried to do it through the draft with Buddy Hield, but Buddy Hield is a one-way scorer. It's only threes for him. He doesn't have much other offensive game. They need to do something to not waste this generational talent and get him some help.
My last loser of the day is the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, I'm not going to sit here and go into the reasons why because I've already told you. Let's just say that they've gotten beaten both times when Anthony Davis has scored 40-plus points. They need to figure it out soon. Like I said before, they don't want to waste Anthony Davis's talent. Now, moving on to the Derrick Rose rape allegations. Derrick Rose was found innocent in court after allegedly raping a woman by trespassing and drugging her. The jury, made up of 8 women and 2 men, said the woman's story just did not line up and all the facts were not there. Now, I'm not saying he's innocent or he's guilty, but you are a multi-million-dollar athlete. Why even put yourself in a situation like that? I know that athletes want to find love and they want somebody to call their own, but doing what was said, that's not the way to do it. You need to find somebody who's going to be serious with you and not just try to take you for your money. He needs to be smarter because next time he might not be so lucky. Another great NFL player retired in his prime this week. Arian Foster retired at the age of 30. He sent a text to Adam Gase on 5:30 in the morning Monday telling him that he had decided to hang up his cleats for good. He is the Houston Texans' all-time leading rusher. Now, more and more players are deciding to retire from the NFL early, and good for them. I know us as fans, we get mad when a player retires early because they're not going to help the team win a Super Bowl, but think of all the health problems that are plaguing today's athletes. It is their right to be able to walk away from the NFL healthy and be able to function on a cognitive level, to be able to get a job outside of football and support their families. Good luck, Arian Foster, and all you do. Big 12 expansion died when Commissioner Bob Bowsby announced earlier this month that the league had decided it wanted to keep 10 teams. The league said it would still have a championship game starting in 2017, but it would not move to a divisional format, meaning that 2 teams could play each other in back-to-back weeks as a championship. This is just stupid. The league knows it's going to die, and the one chance it had to save it, it takes it off the table. 2 teams I thought they should bring in was Houston and Cincinnati. Not only would that have been a good geographical choice, but it would have been a good revenue boost as well, as those teams have big supporting fans. Let the Big 12 die. It's already digging its grave. First fantasy football update this week is my first start of the week. Tom Brady versus Buffalo. Brady has been torching the Bills all throughout his career, and this year, the Bills have not shown me they are able to stop anybody. My first sit of the week is Dak Prescott versus the Eagles. I'm not saying Mr. Reliable is going to have a terrible game, but he's going to force those to Bryant and won't be his usual dependent self. My next start of the week is Jimmy Graham versus New Orleans. Who doesn't like playing their old team? Graham will be fed the ball early and often, and he will destroy this porous New Orleans defense. My last sit of the week is Terrell Pryor versus the New York Jets. Being Cleveland's only offensive weapon sounds nice in theory, but the Jets will ensure he doesn't touch the ball per usual. He is a must-sit this week.
Well, that's it for this week's episode. Please don't forget to subscribe down below and follow me on Twitter at BiasedUnbiased. Also, follow and like my sponsor's Facebook and Twitter page at Euphoric Legwork. The link will be down in the description section. Alright everyone, peace!
You just watched Biased Unbiased with Garrett Merriman. Follow us on Twitter at Euphoric Legwork.